Now is Yvette Felarca with the group By Any Means Necessary. And Yvette, I know that you were there. First of all, tell me, what specifically is it about Milo Yiannopoulos that you and others have an issue with?
Well, first of all, Milo Yiannopoulos is a fascist. He's a white supremacist. He's funded by Steve Bannon and Breitbart. He's an acolyte of Donald Trump. And he was on the UC Berkeley campus to try to recruit more fascists and to wage attacks on Muslim students, immigrant students, women, and trans students.
Now, Milo himself denies those allegations. But again, that's why you were there, and that's why you felt like it was important for him not to speak. What is the real fear of him having a conversation with the 500 students or the 500 people who had bought tickets to the event?
Well, just to go back to how you characterize the protest, this isn't a question of violent versus peaceful protests. I was there, and there were thousands of people out there who were united. It was a mass protest. It was a militant protest. And everyone was there to shut him down. And so whatever it was going to take to do that, we were all there with a united cause, and we were stunningly successful.
But why not be peaceful about it? Why not, you know, chant and hold your signs and things? But when you take the barricades and you destroy the building and when you set fires, isn't that counterproductive? You
know, I think that the left has been far too timid for way too long. And it's why we've even gotten in this position where we even have someone like Donald Trump leading a fascist movement as the President of the United States. We need to make sure that we have more mass protests, more militant protests that are mass and militant. And the reality is that these aren't people just putting forward their ideas. There's white supremacists who've already murdered 6 Muslims just 5 days ago in Quebec. There was a woman in Korea, or not from Korea, but who was from Korea in Los Angeles, who was just beaten down by a white supremacist. We have a right to defend ourselves, and not only a right, we have an obligation to do that, not just for each other, but for our communities too.
Let's go back, though, to the speaker and the fact that he was going to be speaking to 500 people. And some say that because of what happened at the protest, this got national attention. He did national interviews. And so instead of his voice being heard by 500 people, now millions of people are online Googling Milo Yiannopoulos. So does that defeat a little bit of what you were trying to do?
The right wing and the fascists in this country already have a spokesperson, and they've already found one in Trump, Steve Bannon, and also now Milo. But now what I think was so important about our success on Wednesday, which is why it should be the model for how the movement needs to take things now in the future.
Really?
Yeah, because, but let me finish, is because we need to make sure that the millions of people out there who are angry and who are scared under Donald Trump and everything that he's doing now, know that there are people out there who will stand up and fight the way the movement needs to. That clearly Wednesday was not business as usual. It was people fighting united in a mass effort, in a united effort, and by any means necessary.
But you know, though, that some in the business community, they were really upset because they, too, were targeted. They were blocks away from the university. And so when you talk about this happening again, some in the business community have voiced a lot of frustration with what they've seen before. And now to anticipate even more of that, you can understand that frustration and that there is a lot of concern about what is happening at these protests. And that innocent people, those that may be with your cause, may actually be hurt as well.
But there's 2 things to that. One, Chancellor Dirks is responsible for anything that happened. And if the business community is upset, they should join the professors and students and community members who are demanding that Dirks step down immediately. Because he had a chance to cancel the event to make sure it didn't happen. There were hundreds of professors who demanded that for safety reasons. He didn't listen. 1. 2, a few broken windows is nothing compared to the lives that are at stake. And if that's what it takes in order to make sure that more people don't get targeted, if that's what it takes to make sure that Milo Yiannopoulos or another white supremacist is not welcome or allowed to come to UC Berkeley and attack our community, then good. Let's make sure then that that doesn't happen in the future.
So no regrets at all about what took place?
You know, what I think what we need to do is we've got to draw lessons from this in terms of how we can build and build even stronger, how we can make sure that we build the movement, and also that we continue to organize, because it's not spontaneous. This is about organizing and fighting by any means necessary.
All right. Yvette, thank you so much for sharing your perspective on that. Ted, I'll send it over to you.